A scam of $200 million. 1,513 people were cheated. He went to jail for only 22 months, came out, wrote a book, and Hollywood made a movie on him, sold the book rights for $1 million. And in that same year, how much did he pay back to the people he robbed? $21,000. Today, he is a motivational speaker. He teaches people how to succeed and gives lectures on honesty. This is the story of Jordan Belfort. Or maybe this is the story of how the world actually works. Now let's go to the beginning, where the story was begun. In 1962, he was born in the Bronx, New York. Later, he grew up in the Bayside area of Queens. Both his parents were accountants, people who keep track of money. The funny thing is that the parents whose job was to keep proper accounts of money had a son who carried out one of the biggest stock scams in America. Bayside was an ordinary neighborhood. Dreams were small. People stayed within their limits. But Jordan didn't like living within limits. Let's start with his first business idea, the ice business. When he was 16 years old, while other boys were chasing girls, Jordan was chasing money. His school had ended. It was summer vacation before college. Jordan and his friend Elliot started selling ice on the beach. They called it Italian ice cream. A customer came for 1 cup. Jordan said, "Take 2 for the price of 1. Just tell 3 friends to buy from here." The customer thought, "Getting 2 for the price of 1, what's the harm?" And on this way, Jordan would turn 1 customer into 3 new customers. By the end of summer, the 2 of them had earned $2,000 together, just by selling ice cream. Most boys never earn that much money. Then Jordan enrolled to become a dentist at the University of Maryland Dental School. On the very first day, the dean stood up and said, "The golden age of dentistry is over. If you are here to get rich, you are going to be sorely disappointed." Meaning, if you want to become rich by becoming a dentist, just forget it. That era is gone. Jordan stood up, nodded his head, and walked out. The first day was his last day. He wasn't interested in cleaning teeth. He was interested in making money out of it. And this wasn't the path. Now we come to his second business idea, the meat business. After college, Jordan started selling meat door to door. He filled his car with meat and sold it. The business started running. So how did he talk to people? He used to say, "Ma'am, this is the best quality meat to your town, flash frozen and hormone-free, cheaper than your local butcher." And if the lady said she didn't eat meat, he would say, "That's great. Then look at this fish. It's very good for children's brains." He drove around with meat in his car, street by street, and selling it. His sales reached $100,000 per month. No trucks, no storage, and no clue. But there was a problem. Running a business and selling things are 2 different things. Jordan knew how to sell, but he didn't know how to manage and scale a business. Deliveries started getting late. Credit increased. In summer, the meat began rotting on the back seat of the car. Customers got angry. Everything collapsed in just few months. The business went bankrupt. At the age of 25, Jordan became broke. But in that destruction, he discovered his real strength. What the product is doesn't matter. Whether it's meat, ice, garbage, or dirt. If your tongue works, anything can be sold. Literally anything. And just like that, a salesman was born. And from here comes the entry of Wall Street. Jordan didn't want a better product. He wanted better money. Jordan took an entry-level job at a stock brokerage firm. The firm's name was L.F. Rothschild. From inside, it looked like a big company, expensive suits and cocaine in the bathrooms. This was America in the 1980s. Here, Jordan saw the real game, the real world. Here, he learned how the market works, how brokers talk. In the stock market, people invest money not with logic, but with greed. He learned how to talk on the phone and make a stranger believe he is about to become rich. And most importantly, how to sell. But fate had something else planned. In October 1987, the stock market crashed. In one day, the market fell 22.6%, the biggest crash in history. Big companies shut down overnight. Thousands of brokers lost their jobs, and Jordan was among them. Now imagine, a man who had just learned everything was back on the street again. But here, Jordan saw what no one else saw: opportunity inside penny stocks. Now listen carefully, because this is the part where the scam begins. First, understand what are penny stocks. Penny stocks are shares that sell for garbage prices, roughly around $1 or less. Companies with no office, no business, just a name on paper. Selling shares of big companies gave brokers only 1 to 2% commission. But penny stocks gave 50% commission. 50%. That's a lot of money. That means if Jordan sold someone $10,000 worth of worthless shares, $5,000 went straight into his pocket. It was legal, but not right. But Jordan didn't care. He picked up the phone and started. He called people and told stories that could win an Oscar. "Hello, Mr. Thomas. Listen, I'm calling from Wall Street. I have news about a company that is going to become the next Apple. Right now, the company is small, but it has technology that will disrupt the entire home entertainment industry. Ground floor opportunity, sir. Pre-IPO. Wall Street hasn't even noticed it yet. The big guys don't even know about this company. But once they do, boom, the share will give a minimum of 10 times return. The share is 50 cents right now. In 6 months, you won't call me just to say thank you. You'll call me from your beach house. Invest today, and in 6 months you'll be partying with your chicks. Should I book 4,000 shares for you?" If the customer said he didn't understand the company, Jordan would say, "Sir, you don't need to understand the company. You need to understand the opportunity. Smart people move before the crowd." This is called robbery without a gun. No rules, no regulators, and no limits. Just cold calls and pure adrenaline. He had found his kingdom. Now he just had to build the empire. Now we come to 1989. Jordan was no longer alone. Danny Porish arrived in his life. In the movie, you remember the Jonah Hill character working in a furniture shop. That scene was fake. In reality, Danny lived in the same building as Jordan. They met through Jordan's first wife, Denise. And one more thing, Danny was 5 years older than Jordan. In the movie, he looked like a junior. Hollywood wanted a master-student story. The truth wasn't entertaining enough. Danny wasn't innocent. He was sharp, a heavy drinker, and not exactly a typical Wall Street guy. Sometimes it seemed like he wasn't even from this planet. But he could do one thing: close deals. Jordan saw something in him: hunger, loyalty, and a man with no limits. Together they were so dangerous. Jordan used his brain. Danny brought the storm. And from that storm, they built an empire called Stratton Oakmont. Soon, Jordan opened his own firm called Stratton Oakmont. The name sounded heavy, like a 100-year-old British company with expensive whiskey and leather chairs. In reality, it was a dirty office in Long Island with flickering lights and broken chairs, hidden from the government eyes. The boys working there weren't MBAs or PhDs holders. They were not analysts, too. Many weren't even educated. They were bartenders, college dropouts, and neighborhood troublemakers. People with nothing to lose and the whole world to gain. Jordan didn't want experience. He wanted hunger, not thinkers. He wanted sellers. Jordan trained them so dangerously. He created a system called straight line persuasion. The meaning was simple: move the customer in a straight line from "hello" to "where should I send the money?" If the customer said, "I'll think about it," apply pressure. If he said, "I need to ask my wife," question his masculinity. "Sir, don't you make decisions in your own house? Don't you want to make your family rich?" If he said he had no money, say he could use a credit card. Every objection had an answer. This office wasn't normal. It was a cult, a place of madness. From morning to evening, the guys shouted on phones, abused people, lied, and closed orders. When a deal closed, they slammed the phone down and the entire office applauded. Money rained like a sandstorm. Strippers danced in meeting rooms, and so many drugs it could kill a rhino. Drugs flowed like tea and water, cocaine, pills, and alcohol. Because when you spend the whole day robbing people, your conscience won't let you sleep. So they stayed intoxicated so they wouldn't remember what they were doing. Top sellers were treated like kings. Bonuses, vacations, expensive watches thrown around the office like candy. Poor sellers were humiliated and thrown out. Nothing was normal. No proper furniture, no company cars, not even fire extinguishers. Once someone filled one with cream and alcohol. Jordan was no longer just an owner. He had become the leader of a cult in expensive suits. Stratton Oakmont's trick wasn't just how they sold, it was who they sold to. Forgotten people, retired old people, worried parents about their kids, people ignored by big companies. Stratton sold them hope, wrapped in urgency, decorated with fake promises and wild predictions. At first, they sold worthless penny stocks, companies that didn't exist beyond press releases. But as money came, the game changed. Now they bought real IPO shares cheaply, hyped them through their sales floor, filled the market with fake excitement, pushed prices up, and then sold everything at the peak, leaving thousands of people holding worthless stock. This is called pump and dump, but inside Stratton Oakmont they called it a normal Tuesday. By 1994, the firm was booming. Millions were moving around. But underneath the shine, everything was rotten. The same game again and again. Raise the price, sell the dream, run away before reality arrives. Regulators started noticing. Complaints came in. People who bought at $1 saw it fall to 30 cents. Even some brokers inside began questioning it. Jordan had become so rich he didn't know where to keep the money. He opened Swiss bank accounts, used shell companies, hid cash through relatives, casinos, art galleries, and fake companies. The FBI called it money laundering. Eventually, investigations tightened. Informants inside his own companies started cooperating with authorities. Calls were recorded, documents handed over. In December 1996, government agents raided Stratton Oakmont. Phones were ripped out, computers seized. Evidence was everywhere. By 1998, Jordan had no moves left. Facing up to 30 years in prison, he did what he always did. He sold. But this time, he sold himself. He became an informant and gave evidence against his partners and friends. More than 30 people were charged, and many got long prison sentences. Jordan Belfort received only 22 months in prison, at a minimum security facility with tennis courts and gyms. There, he met comedian Tommy Chong, who told him to write his story. Jordan wrote a book called The Wolf of Wall Street in 2007. The book celebrated the lifestyle, the drugs, yachts, and scams, without any shame. After prison, the film rights were sold. In 2013, a movie directed by Martin Scorsese and starring Leonardo DiCaprio made the story famous worldwide. The man who had lied to thousands became a pop culture hero, but the victims never got their lives back. Teachers lost retirement funds, soldiers lost life savings, families lost homes. Courts ordered Jordan to repay $110 million. To this day, only a small part has been repaid. Today, Jordan Belfort is free. He travels the world as a motivational speaker, teaching success and sales to people. And the same scams still exist today, just in different forms. WhatsApp stock tips, Telegram crypto signals, Instagram trading gurus, pump and dump IPO groups, MLM schemes, and blah, blah, blah. The script hasn't changed. The story doesn't just show how someone became rich. It shows how greed can turn people into predators and victims. Next time you see a wolf, remember, he isn't a lion. He's just a thief in expensive clothes. And don't become his prey. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next amazing video.